What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that I cannot believe is actually here. I feel like I pre-ordered this like years ago. We're going to be taking a look at the brand new Axy Toys Devil. But I think we all know who this is supposed to be. This is the not Pitt action figure. Now, I have always wanted a Pitt in my collection, and it is just a peak time to be a fan of third-party figures, of characters that, you know, of indie comics and niche cartoons, because nobody was giving us this guy anytime soon, I don't think. So to finally have this in hand is awesome, and he is bigger and heavier than I even imagined. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this big bad devil up. So getting this big mamma jamma out of the packaging, holy crap. This is like one of my heaviest action figures I think I own. This guy is dense because he's bulky, and all of this is solid plastic. And this guy is freaking sick. He's not perfect, and I definitely do have some gripes with it, but for the price point, with the way that prices are going these days, you cannot go wrong with this guy. I mean, this guy, it cost me $90, okay? 90 bucks for this big ass figure that comes with a whole ton of awesome stuff. You cannot complain about that. Whether or not you agree with the whole third-party thing is your, you know, prerogative. You know, sometimes I think I'm in the middle of it too, but, you know, I just want good figures. And if a company's gonna make good figures of characters that at least look like the character that I'm wanting, can we really complain about that? I mean, I don't know. So, like, why do we have... It's different if they were ripping off a small company, but they're not ripping off anybody. This is a brand new sculpt as far as I know. So, I don't know. If any... Whatever. I'm not even going to get into it because there's a lot that goes into it. But taking a look at this head sculpt here, that is unmistakably the Pitt. And that looks awesome. I love the way they did the eyes. They're deep set in there. They look like a separate piece. You get his long ponytail mohawk thing. I used to kind of have hair like this, but not this long, and I used to have it in a bun, but I love this little tuft of hair here. Like, it's awesome. You get this nice denim jacket, which I do believe that this is actually a functioning zipper, which is insane. Let me see if I can do it on camera. Maybe not. I can't get it right now, but yeah. It's insane, and it does have a bendy wire all around the collar up until about here. So that's awesome. The chest sculpt is so crisp and clean, and the paint there's like 3 colors going on here. The base, you have a lighter tan, and then like another gray on there. Looks fantastic. The arms look big and bulky. I love the like slight hair sculpt on there. I think this is the company's logo. I don't know. That doesn't really bother me. I'm not really going to display him from behind most of the time. Get his big old back. All the paint is still there. I just love how big and chunky his arms are. I mean, geez, dude. That's insane. Those are some big arms. You get his hands, which don't match in color perfectly now that I see it on camera. It's not as noticeable in person. It's definitely more on camera. The joints are also, like, very smooth compared to the sculpted parts, but whatever. And then you get the soft goods pants, which I love and hate at the same time. I love the way they look. They literally look like little jeans. They're nice and stretchy. They don't get in the way of articulation, none of that. But they do like gap up a lot and like get pinched in when you use like the knees and things, and they're kind of finicky, like pulling them up a little bit. Like I wish they like were like glued on the waist piece, because he is a little like finicky of trying to like get everything together in a way that looks, you know, that makes sense and looks good. Like I kind of wish they glued it like right there, but that's not the end of the world. And then you get his legs and his big old feet. His toes are huge. I mean, they are huge. These are big feet. Nice metal rod in there, a little gappy on the metal rods both sides, but I mean that it's not that big a deal. No peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Yeah, this guy is one big sumbitch. I mean, geez, dude, he's huge, and like I keep saying, he's heavy. I mean, like when I picked up this box, I knew what it was right away, even before I opened it. I was like, oh man, that's got to be the Axy Toys Devil. Yeah, this guy's badass. I mean, just getting him standing there like this with the claws. Like, that is ridiculously cool looking. So, yeah. And to boot, like I kept saying about the price point, he comes with a ton of awesome stuff. So, you do get these big clawed out hands, which these are definitely my favorite hands. And then you get some slight variations of that. So, you get like slightly more closed hands. Nothing too crazy there. All the paint is super clean. And then you get like a pair of actual gripping hands, which we'll talk about these more in a moment. You get a ton of chains. So you get 4 chains total, I believe. So you get, and these, I don't think it's real metal, but it's a real functioning chain and it looks good. So you get this long one and then you get 2 shorter ones. They're the same size in terms of links, just length. I think if these ones are maybe 2 feet long, like 1.5 feet, and these, the longer one is maybe 4 feet. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 4 feet. Excuse me. Maybe 4 feet long, and these both have a very specific purpose. So I actually haven't done this yet. What you're going to want to do is lift up the arms and take the long one, which is this one. In the comic books, the Pitt always has his chains wrapped around his waist. He always has them wrapped around his waist. So I assume the longer one is for that. He always has them kind of wrapped like this. And then he makes an X on his chest. So I did it like this, and then you turn them around. And what I'm gonna do is open these links up a little bit and clip one here and one to the back, kind of like a overall kind of thing to keep these in place, because I want the chains on the Pitt. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. I kind of wish they had like a little clip system, like a little, like kind of like a necklace piece. That would have been cool. And then you do get the smaller ones. That these ones, actually, excuse me, these are meant to wrap around his ankles. I mean, that's another iconic thing about the Pitt, is that he always has, at least any iteration I've ever seen with them, always has the chains wrapped around his ankles. Now, this, I gotta admit, is pretty difficult to do. I mean, if you get it like clipped on, it'll look good, but you're gonna have to open the link and then close it again with like some needle nose pliers, which I have. So, you know, this is just kind of what it would look like, and I like that. So I am gonna do that after this video. Once I go through like the articulation and everything, I'll do it for like the pictures and things, because I want him to have that. And you're also probably wondering, well, Ant, doesn't he usually have them on his forearms as well? And then my answer to that is yes, because this is not all you get. So you get those 3 chains, the long one and the 2 short ones, and then you get another chain. This is about the size of the long one, I would say, with his giant blade weapons attached to the ends of them. So what you're going to want to do, same process here. Wrap them around, keep wrapping them around, yada yada yada. You might not have to do it as much, and then switch out the hands to these gripping hands. Now, my biggest complaint with the figure is that he does not hold his weapons very good at all. I wish this grip was a little tighter or more sculpted for it. But the cool thing about these, they're not sharp necessarily, but they are real metal. Like, I genuinely cannot bend that. Like, that is freaking ridiculous. So, you know, you can chain them all up like this, and then, you know, once you get the chain in his hands. I don't want this in his hands. He doesn't really use these too often. At least anything that I've ever read him in. And I'm not like a Pitt expert by any means, but so I'm gonna unlink this chain and just kind of have them wrapped around his forearms as well. So do a little bit of customizing work, and you get 2 of those, by the way. So yeah, you get 2 bladed weapons. You can hear that. It's crazy. We're not done yet, guys. We are not done yet. So he also does come with his mask. Looks pretty cool. You get the red X on there. Looks pretty good. This has an elastic band, so you can leave the hair on. I mean, it might be easier to just take it off, but it's really, since it's a thin piece, it's not that big a deal. You can pull it down want to be careful you don't rip anything. I don't want to rip his hair on the top. There we go. And that looks cool. Not my look for him. It's cool, but I'm not going to use that, so I'll take a picture and kind of call it a day with that one. But yeah, looks good with that. And then finally, again, there's still more in this box for $80, $80, $90. You get these little like clip-on flame pieces, and you get like a whole like handful of them. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but you get some longer ones, some shorter ones, and what these are meant for is to clip onto the chains in various different ways. So when you have them wrapped around, like, they'll stay on. They're not, well, that didn't stay on too well, but, you know, I only did it, like, briefly. But you can wrap them around, and you can get, like, that ghastly, like, look that he has. It's just awesome. So, nice translucent red plastic. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. 7 total. So, nice bevy of accessories here. I mean, for the price point and the quality of all this, including like real chains and giant metal kitchen knives, it's a very good deal in my opinion. But of course, everybody's probably wondering what the articulation is like. So I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. So the ponytail is really loose. I do wish this plugged in better. Kind of wish it didn't come out at all, but it will rotate. You just have to be careful. It's a very thin piece of plastic. The head is pretty good. It's not my favorite part, but it's got a nice double ball peg. This is kind of squishy, not really, but you can get them to pretty much do whatever you want with them. Sometimes I think the jaw's articulated, but it's not. I kind of wish it was, but he's usually making this face anyway. Rotation. The shoulders will go up about that far. Lying, they go up that far. That's insane. This big ass shoulder, because they got like that kind of McFarlane thing going on with the cap inside, so you can get it up all the way. You can kind of do some butterfly action with it, not crazy, but obviously it'll fully rotate. You get the floating bicep swivel piece, so that'll rotate at the bicep, and then single jointed elbow that will also rotate. I mean, that's about as far as you're getting, and I'm not lying this time. That's a decent. I mean, look at how big these biceps are. They're bigger than his head. What do you expect? And then the wrists, these are like squishy soft hands, which is like my favorite. And then these big ass ball pegs in here, or ball hinges. Little lubed up. These stay on good. You just got to be aware of like which way it's pointing. I wouldn't push anything unless you know exactly where the joint is, because you do not want to snap that off. And the torso, I like and don't like at the same time. So crunching forward, you can only get about there. Doesn't really gap on the back, but you can get them to about there. Going side to side, about here and there. But then arcing back, it gets extremely gappy. I mean, and it doesn't even really elicit that much range. So, like, functionally, without it gapping, you only get about that much. It'll rotate at the top and the bottom, which does make it kind of hard for him to, like... I always feel like he's lopsided between the pants and the joint in the waist. It's just... It does get a little, like, fidgety, and I hate that with action figures. I really, really don't like when things feel fidgety. But, I just want to pick it up and play with it. But it's not egregious right here. So, pretty good torso articulation. Again, he's a big guy. His legs are going to go out about that much with the pants. If I was to take the pants off, which I'm not going to, he definitely feels like he could get more, and they probably reuse these bodies for different things. He'll kick forward that far back, upper thigh swivel, insane double jointed knee, and it doesn't have to look nice because he's got pants on. So, I mean, it looks fine, but even if it didn't, he's got pants on. And then the ankle's great. The ankle goes down and up. And he'll pivot. It's a little steep, and then a big ass toe joint. I do feel like his hips are ever so slightly loose, but I mean, then again, it could just be that he's like a big, heavy guy. I mean, just look at that pose. Like, that is... He looks great, and for a big guy, he can move. I wasn't kidding, y'all, when I said he was a big boy. So here he is next to the AXYTOYS King Kong, along with the Jazzwares Fortnite Series 6-inch Peely. Here he is next to the McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman, along with the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men series Darwin. And then finally, here he is next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends What If Series Zombie Captain America, which I put him in his hand and dude didn't even like flinch. Like, it's not even like I had to balance him. This thing is so dense that he holds Cap with ease. So, you guys are probably out there wondering, yo, Ant, what are your final thoughts on this figure? And I gotta say, guys, he is awesome. I do think he's a little fidgety. I mean, you can see the pants keep getting caught in the waist joint, and I do find that a little frustrating. But the paint and sculpt is phenomenal on this guy. He feels super high quality. Oh, I thought I was going to lose him there. I did not. But he feels super high quality. He looks amazing. The soft goods are really, really good. It's just an awesome figure. Like, it really, really is. So, and for the price point, you can't go wrong. I mean, these days, man, these prices are getting insane. So for less than $100, like $100 with shipping, I gotta give this guy like a 9 out of 10. He is awesome. And I'm very happy. I've always wanted a Pitt. So, and this is way better than the Build-A-Figure from back in the day. And I don't care what any of you say, you're smoking if you think that's better than this one. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. If you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. I post a lot on all those apps. I have a great time, and I'm sure you will too. But as always, let me know. Coppin. See you guys next one. Peace. As long as I wanted to hop on here again and thank you all for watching, and to let you know that if the following apps interest you, feel free to follow me on them, as I put the links in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everything you all do for me, so DM me with any questions or thoughts. I'd love to sit and talk with you all. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.